Okay, this is it for real.
3, 2, 1.
Go. We're on. We're back. Welcome back, Medic Monday. Dyer Armory. I am Brian. I am back for round number 2. This is not just another Medic Monday, because this is Stop the Bleed Month. So last week, I talked a lot about a lot of different things that you kind of don't hear about IFAKs and medical kits, things that people don't say. And towards the end, I got to talking about tourniquets. And there are some things that I mentioned that I didn't go into detail with that I want to go touch on a little bit more. So I'm going to spend a little today on this. So last time I talked for an hour, I'm going to try to do not an hour this time. So I have a timer going. I'm going to try not to waste your time because your time is very important. So combat application tourniquets, that is this right here. There are many like it. You can go on Amazon and you can find them for $12. $14, and they are not combat application tourniquets. Don't buy a cheap one. The materials and the build quality is not the same. So this one is the 7th generation. It's made by North American Rescue. They hold the patents for these. They are probably the leading authority on tourniquets. It is Tactical Combat Casualty Care certified. It is issued to the U.S. military. There are a few other tourniquets that have come around and have gotten the same TCCC rating that are really good. This one is the most common, most widespread. All our police officers, this is most likely what you're going to be issued. EMS, fire, this is what we get. They're good. They're about $30 everywhere you go. And it can potentially be the best $30 that you'll ever spend. So these got their popularity and their reputation starting around 2005 in the global war on terror. They began to be issued, by and large, widespread to Army infantry and the other branches of the military. Before that, they're using a lot of improvised tourniquets, tourniquets that didn't have quite the same build quality, and the mortality rate was still really high, so that's people dying. And after these became adopted into the injury care protocols for the military, they saw a dramatic decline in the number of deaths, right? So that's 2005. Here are some remarks from 1970. So this would have been in the Vietnam conflict. So this is frontline medical personnel from the military. This is their observation. The striking feature was to see healthy young Americans with a single injury of the distal extremity. That's like your lower leg or your arm, right between your elbow and your hand. See, healthy young Americans with these kinds of injuries arrive at a magnificently equipped field hospital, usually within hours, but dead on arrival. In fact, there were 193 deaths due to wounds of the upper and lower extremities, or 2% of the case study's 2,600 patients. That's a pretty significant statement. That's a pretty significant number to see body after body after body come in from a preventable injury. So there's a lot of misnomers, kind of old wives' tales, I guess, on tourniquets and tourniquet use, right? If you use a tourniquet, you're going to lose your limb, that kind of stuff, which is not true. Not true. And I said this last week. There are studies coming out now where they're showing people receiving a tourniquet in the field, going to the hospital, undergoing surgery, and they have that tourniquet in place for 8 hours. I want to say it's like 6 to 8 hours. It was a really long number. And they retain the use of their limb afterwards. So medical advancement is rapidly increasing. These are saving lives. They're a big deal. They're very important. The U.S. Army, as of just within the last couple of years, they're coming out and they're saying they've seen an 85% decrease in the number of combat casualties, right? People dying in combat. And they're saying that tourniquet use is being 100% effective in preventing deaths, right? So that means that in that percentage of people that died, 100% of the people that received a tourniquet for a life-threatening limb injury survived because they received a tourniquet, right? So that 85 out of 100 people, 85 of those were able to have a tourniquet applied correctly and in the right amount of time to save their life, which is a big deal. So what makes these better than, say, the cheap Chinese imitation ones you can get on Amazon, right? You can find them on there for $14, $15, $16. I showed an example last time of a Chinese knockoff that looks pretty good, but it doesn't have the same reputation, right? So North American Rescue, they make these. They have the patents. They have engineered the design. It is designed for one person to use on themselves single-handedly.